Okay, so now that we have looked at the sine ratio, the cosine ratio and the tan ratio, what we need to address now is which one to use on a given example. Right angle triangle again, opposite the 36 is over there, opposite. This is the largest side, so this is the hypotenuse, and this side here is the adjacent. So straight away, without even reading the question, I know I'm going to be using the hypotenuse, so I'm going to use this one or this one. The question is asking for PQ. PQ is the adjacent side, so I need that, and I know that, so the one I'm going to use is cos. So as with previous work, I quote the formula, cos, the angle's 36, equals the adjacent side, which is PQ, divided by the hypotenuse, which is 35. So as with previous work, take that across to the other side as a times 35. So I do 35 times by the cos of 36 on the calculator. So 35 times cos 36 equals, and that comes out as 28.31, but I'm cutting a 5 off, so 3.2 is what I write down. Next example. Opposite the angle is there. Largest side is the hypotenuse. That means that that side there is the adjacent. The question is asking me to work out xy. Xy is that side. We know the opposite side, so we're not using the adjacent here. Now the opposite side and the hypotenuse side is this formula here, so I quote that formula. So sine angle, which is 57, is equal to the opposite side, which is 4.6, divided by the hypotenuse side, which is xy. And as with the previous work, to work out xy, we would divide, because we're trying to find the denominator. So putting that into the calculator, we've got 4.6 divide sine 57 equals, and that comes out as 5.48, and it stays as an 8 because it's A4 I'm cutting off. Okay, 3 examples back to back. So we're going to try and find the value of x in each of these 3 diagrams. So take the first one. Opposite the angle is there, the largest side is there, so that down there is the adjacent. In this question we want that side, and we know that side, and the formula that uses the opposite and the adjacent is the third formula, tan. So tan of the angle, tan of 48, is the same as the opposite side, which is 8, divided by the adjacent side, which is the letter x. Because the letter we want is on the denominator, it is once again a division. So on the calculator, we have 8 divided by tan 48 equals, and to 2 decimal places, that's 7.20. First one done. The second one. For the second one, opposite the angle is over here. The largest side is here, and the remaining side is therefore the adjacent. Again, we know the opposite side. This time, the hypotenuse side. And so we're using these two, which means that we're using the sine ratio. So sine angle is equal to the opposite side, which is letter y, over the hypotenuse side, which is 21. So this time we're doing a multiply. Take the 21 across as a times, and we place that into the calculator. So we've got 21 times by the sine of 26 equals, and there we get 9.20, but I'm cutting a 5 off, so it's 2, 1. Third one. Opposite the angle is over here. The larger side is down here, and that remaining side must be the adjacent. So this time we want that side, and we know that side, and lo and behold, the one that uses them two is cos. So cos of the angle is equal to the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse, and because we want a letter on the denominator, it is a division. I'll put that into the calculator once again. 15 divided by cos 42 equals, and 2 decimal places, we get 20.18. Because I'm cutting a 4 off, it stays as an 8.